Virgo. Um, um, so, uh, so this is a general reading. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Like always, always, you know what works for you and what doesn't. And I just need to say this right now. Before we even start this reading, this energy I'm picking up on, it's not about predicting anything. It's not about what's coming or who's showing up next month. That's not what we do here on Virgo. Virgo, what we do is we look at now, we look at what you're carrying from before, and we figure out how to move forward in your power, in your truth. So if you're here waiting for me to tell you when something's happening or who's coming, you're in the wrong place. But if you're here to grow, to heal, to understand yourself better, then welcome, welcome. You're exactly where you need to be. And thank you. Thank you so much for the likes, the subscriptions, the comments. I read every single one, sometimes at like 4 a.m. when I can't sleep and I'm just scrolling and my heart just fills up because you guys are so honest, so raw with what you're going through. And that's what this space is about. It's about truth. It's about helping each other stop playing small. So thank you for being here. Okay, so this theme, this angry in love, obsessed with, you can't let you go energy. And look, I need to reframe this right now because when people see titles like this, they think, oh, someone's obsessed with me. Someone can't let me go. Someone's angry because they love me so much. But Virgo, that's not what this is about. That's not the level we operate on here. What this is really about, what Spirit is showing me right now, is your relationship with yourself. It's about how you're finally getting angry at yourself for how you've been treating yourself, how you're obsessed with your own growth now, how you can't let go of this new version of yourself that's emerging, and that is the real reading. That's the real energy. So first card, and the Five of Wands appears. And oh my God, Virgo, the Five of Wands is conflict, is tension, is five people with sticks all fighting. But look closer. They're not really hurting each other. They're sparring, they're testing, they're pushing each other to be better. And what this is telling me, what's coming through so strong, is that right now, you're in this internal battle. You're fighting with yourself. Part of you wants to stay safe. Stay small, stay in what's comfortable. And another part of you is angry, is fed up, is done with playing it safe. And Virgo, that anger, that's not a bad thing. That's actually the fuel you need. That's the energy that pushes you to change. And the reason I'm showing you this card, the reason we're talking about this conflict energy, is so you can see it clearly, so you can name it, because what you don't acknowledge you can't work with. And right now you're at war with yourself. You're angry at yourself for all the times you settled, for all the times you ignored your intuition, for all the times you let people treat you less than you deserve. And that anger, Virgo, that's love. That's you finally loving yourself enough to be mad about how you've been treated, including how you've treated yourself. My back is killing me right now from sitting in this chair for too long, but I can't stop. I need to get this out. Okay, so let me pull what this obsessed energy really means, what you're obsessed with right now. And the Eight of Swords appears. And wait, the Eight of Swords is someone blindfolded, tied up, surrounded by swords, trapped, but hairs. The thing here is what most people miss about this card. The bindings are loose. The person can walk away anytime they want. They're not actually trapped. They just think they are. And oh, Virgo, this is what you're obsessed with right now. You're obsessed with figuring out, with understanding all the ways you've been trapping yourself, all the ways you've been wearing blindfolds you put on yourself, all the limiting beliefs you've been carrying that were never true. Because hair is the thing. Hair is what I learned back in 2016 when I was going through my own awakening. When you start seeing your own patterns, when you start recognizing how you've been your own prison guard, it becomes an obsession, a healthy obsession. You can't unsee it. You can't go back to pretending you don't know. And that's uncomfortable. That's really uncomfortable because it means taking responsibility. It means admitting that a lot of your pain, a lot of your struggle, it was self-imposed. And Virgo, I know that's hard to hear, but it's also the most liberating thing you can realize, because if you created the prison, you can also walk out of it. And the advice here, the real developmental work, is to stop. Just stop blaming external circumstances for where you are. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop looking for permission to free yourself, because nobody's coming. Nobody can do this work but you, and the anger you're feeling, the obsession with understanding yourself. That's the beginning. That's you waking up. That's you saying no more, no more excuses, no more victim mentality, no more waiting. And that energy that's powerful, powerful, that's what changes everything. Wait, let me pull what you can't let go of, what's gripping you so tight right now. And the Ten of Swords appears, and oh God, Virgo, the Ten of Swords is rock bottom, is betrayal, is that moment when you're face down with 10 swords in your back and you think this is it, this is the end, I can't survive this. And what I'm getting, what Spirit is showing me, is that you can't let go of that moment. You can't let go of that time when you hit your lowest, when you thought you were done, when the pain was so intense you didn't think you'd make it through. And here is why. You can't let it go. Here is what's happening. You're not holding on to it because you're stuck. You're holding on to it because it transformed you, because it showed you what you're made of, because you survived it, and that changed everything. And this is where I need to give you some tough love, some real, real truth, because when you survive a Ten of Swords moment, when you make it through something that should have destroyed you, there's a part of you that becomes obsessed with that strength, that becomes obsessed with never being that vulnerable again. And Virgo, that's natural. That's a survival mechanism. But here's the trap. Here's what my cousin told me years ago when I was stuck in the same pattern. She said, Anna, you can honor what you survived without letting it define every decision you make now. You can remember the lesson without reliving the trauma. And that hit me so hard, because I realized I was using my past pain as a shield, but it was also keeping me from experiencing anything new, anything good. So the advice, the psychological work you need to do right now is to thank that Ten of Swords moment. Really thank it for making you stronger, for teaching you discernment, for showing you your resilience. But then you need to put it down. You need to stop carrying it into every new situation, every new connection, every new opportunity. Because Virgo, not everyone is the person who betrayed you. Not every situation is a setup for pain. And you know this logically, you know this, but emotionally you're still gripping that past so tight that you can't fully open your hands to receive what's here now. Okay, so let me see what this angry in love energy is really about. What's at the core of this? And I'm pulling. And the Queen of Wands appears. And look at this queen. Look at her sitting there confident, holding her wand, her sunflower, her black cat at her feet. And she fears, she's powerful. She's not playing small. And what Spirit is telling me, what's coming through crystal clear, is that you're angry because you're in love with this version of yourself, this Queen of Wands energy that's emerging, and you're realizing, you're seeing how long you suppressed her, how long you dimmed her light, how long you made her small to make other people comfortable. And that makes you angry. That makes you furious, actually. And the work, the real understanding you need to have is that this anger, it's not destructive, it's constructive. It's the fire you need to burn away. Everything that's not serving you, every relationship that's one sided, every job that's draining you, every belief that's limiting you. And Virgo, you're in love with your power right now. You're obsessed with stepping into this queen energy, and you can't let it go, because for the first time, maybe the first time ever, you're seeing yourself clearly. You're seeing what you're capable of. You're seeing that you don't need anyone's validation or approval or permission to be magnificent. Wait, my cat just knocked over my water bottle. She always does this when I'm recording, always. Okay, so what I was saying is that this Queen of Wands energy, this is who you are when you're not afraid, when you're not trying to fit into someone else's expectations, when you're not shrinking yourself. And the obsession you have right now, the thing you can't let go of, it's this feeling of finally being yourself. And Virgo, once you taste that, once you experience what it feels like to be fully expressed, fully alive, fully you, there's no going back. You can't unsee it. You can't unfeel it. Okay, so let me pull one more card, one more piece of guidance about what to do with this energy, how to channel it. And the Ace of Wands appears, and oh my God, Virgo, the Ace of Wands is new beginning, is creative, fire is passion, is that spark of inspiration. And look at this hand coming out of the cloud offering this wand. And what this is showing me, what the message is right now, is that all this anger, all this obsession with growth, all this inability to let go of your power, it needs an outlet, it needs a channel, it needs action. And the practical advice here, the thing you need to do today, right now, is find a way to express this energy, to use it. Because anger without action becomes bitterness, obsession without direction becomes anxiety, and power without purpose becomes destructive. And Virgo, you have so much fire right now, so much passion, so much drive. But if you don't channel it into something productive, something creative, something that moves you forward, it's going to burn you out. It's going to turn inward. And that's when you start sabotaging. That's when you start picking fights that don't matter. That's when you start creating drama just to feel something. Because here is the thing, Virgo, here is what nobody tells you about personal growth, about waking up to your power. It's uncomfortable. It's really, really uncomfortable because you start seeing everything differently. You start holding yourself to higher standards. You start refusing to tolerate what you used to accept, and that creates friction, that creates tension in your life, in your relationships, in your routine. And if you're not careful, if you're not intentional about how you handle this energy, you can end up pushing away the very things you want. You can end up isolating yourself. You can end up so obsessed with being strong that you forget how to be soft, how to be vulnerable, how to let people in. And I'm telling you this from experience from 2018 when I went through my own angry in love phase, when I was so obsessed with my growth, so focused on never being hurt again, that I became hard. I became closed off. I became someone I didn't recognize. And it wasn't until I lost someone, I cared about someone who actually was good for me, but I pushed them away because I couldn't let my guard down, that I realized, wait, strength without softness is just armor. Power without vulnerability is just walls. And I don't want to be a fortress. I want to be a home. So the developmental work, the real growth here is learning to hold both, learning to be the Queen of Wands, powerful and also open, also receptive, also willing to be seen. And learning that being angry at how you've been treated doesn't mean you have to be angry at everyone. Being obsessed with your growth doesn't mean you can't rest. Being unable to let go of your power doesn't mean you have to control everything. And Virgo, this is the balance you're learning right now. This is the dance you're doing, fierce and gentle, strong and soft, independent and connected. Okay, so here is what I need you to do, what I need you to commit to right now. I need you to comment below, just type, I honor my anger, just those 4 words, because I want you to claim it. I want you to stop being ashamed of feeling angry. Stop thinking you need to be nice all the time. Stop suppressing this fire that's trying to burn away what's not serving you. And when you type it, I want you to really feel it. Feel that anger in your chest, that obsession with becoming better, that grip on your power, and say, yes, this is mine. This is my fuel. This is what's propelling me forward. And look, honoring your anger doesn't mean being mean, doesn't mean lashing out at people, doesn't mean burning bridges just because you can. It means acknowledging it. It means using it as information. It means asking yourself, what is this anger trying to tell me? What boundary did I let someone cross? What part of myself did I abandon? What truth have I been avoiding? And when you use anger like that, when you use it as a compass instead of a weapon, that's when it becomes transformative. That's when it becomes the thing that changes your life. Because Virgo, this angry and love energy, this obsession with yourself, this inability to let go of your power, it's not a problem. It's not something you need to fix or get over. It's a phase. It's a necessary phase in your evolution where you're reclaiming yourself, where you're remembering who you are, where you're refusing to go back to sleep. And the people who can't handle this version of you, the people who want you small and manageable and easy, those are the weirdos who need to kick rocks. Those are the losers on the ground who don't deserve access to this queen energy you're stepping into. So stay magic, Virgo. Stay in this Five of Wands. Fire. Break free from that Eight of Swords prison you built. Honor what that Ten of Swords taught you, but don't live there. Embody this Queen of Wands. Power channel. This Ace of Wands. Creative passion. And remember being angry about how you've been treated, being obsessed with your growth, being unable to let go of your power. That's not a character flaw. That's a character development. That's you finally loving yourself enough to demand better, and that is the most beautiful thing you can do.